All right, hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And I don't know why I'm yelling, but
That was quite aggressive.
Dan yells at clouds.
this is the last podcast of 2024.
Really limping into the end here.
Yeah.
I feel like
Wheels are coming off.
everyone's sick.
Everyone's sick. I think, this is like, I was been looking forward to this time because we traveled a lot. We did a lot of things. I was just like, we'll get to the holidays. We can kind of relax. And I think if my body is gone and said, okay, yeah, let's get sick. Let's.
Everything's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's getting sick around these parts.
I think it's inevitable when the weather gets cold. I mean, actually, I think you two got it at the gym.
That's why my theory, I was going to go with that as well.
I don't know. Everyone's that, or maybe, I don't know, my kids also get sick.
So maybe Robbie brought it in.
Yeah, Robbie's the real problem.
Yeah, I'm the smallpox blanket of Believe in the Run.
Hey, Robbie, before we get started, you got a package from Tracksmith. Why don't you rip it open and let's see what's in it?
Oh, we're already starting Christmas presents?
I think I know what's in it.
I hope I know what's in it.
It's going to be so good. Tracksmith came out with this new piece of apparel. It's what it is.
Oh, yeah, it is actually that. Oh, man.
Yes.
They're running bibs.
What size are those, dude?
That does look
That
big,
looks
right?
big.
No, it's a small.
Look,
I mean, they come up to your armpits.
and you got
basically.
pockets in the back. Like it's like
actually,
a reverse. It's like a reverse.
That actually is kind of cool. The
Basically,
pockets.
like the same thing you'd wear if you went skiing or cycling.
Yeah,
But
except
for
for no
running.
chamois.
Yeah.
I don't know. The pocket, I think,
Do
would
you
be
wear
cooler
something
in the
under
front,
that?
like a sweatshirt.
Like on the bottom?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Do you wear? What do you mean on the bottom?
Like you're.
Do you wear underwear with
No,
your
I think it's
tights?
just normal tights. Like you don't wear anything underneath. I don't wear anything. Do you?
No, man.
Okay. Are you a never nude? But the
What's a never nude?
It's from
Arrested Development. Tobias Funke. There's dozens of them.
But so you're going to wear a t-shirt or a long sleeve or whatever shirt under that, and that's it?
Yeah, I think, I guess so.
That's kind of
dude.
weird.
I dare you to run around with not a jacket over the top of that, just a long sleeve shirt.
That's how they
or short
model
sleeve.
it.
I
And
know.
all their,
Christmas
how
morning.
else
I'll
you
do it
gonna
on
model
Christmas.
Yeah. How else are you gonna model it? Like
If
you
we go
can't
to-
show it with a jacket over because then you can't see it.
And if you wore a top over it, it would just look like normal running tights.
Right. So you got to wear it underneath Farmer John style.
I will say, I don't understand the utility of these versus a normal pair of running tights.
it keeps you warmer, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, so does a thicker,
Top.
or a light jacket.
Yeah, but this makes it real challenging if you ever have to go to the bathroom.
The bathroom,
Mid-run.
putting it on.
Oh, dude, I wish it had a flap in the back, like old
Yeah.
cartoons where they had just go to the outhouse and pull that flap down.
Yeah, this is, I love Tracksmith, but this is an unnecessary.
I don't know. Let's wait and see
Hey,
what Robbie says.
we had
Maybe
that-
it's a new favorite thing.
Yeah, we got to test it out.
Dude, you
first.
should run with no shirt on underneath it. So just the bib.
Oof, I mean, it's illegal in some countries. It look like
Yeah,
Borat.
Yeah.
Very nice. Carl's in. Carl now has switched sides. He's into it.
Yeah.
He's going to cut the legs off. It'll just be a banana hammock with the straps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, well, I'll try it out. I did actually run in the Fells turtleneck yesterday, actually, when it was like 15 degrees. And
It was like, I thought it was 20. Was it?
I was in
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
you were? That was a mistake.
There was actually, I just wore that with a light merino layer over top of that. It was perfect.
My question though is like you ran in that Mizuno shoe that we all like, which on my ratings on the, I'm trying to get more accurate with the rating system for the videos.
Yeah.
And I felt like I put it almost close to yellow when I think it's a really good shoe, but because of the way that we rate things now, it'll be interesting because everybody likes it.
Yeah.
You like it. Meg likes it. I like it. But I was thinking you were in colder temps. Did it affect the
I didn't.
Energy
I feel like
NXT?
it's such a soft foam that I don't feel like it really did. I was a little nervous because there was a couple inches of snow on the ground. So the first couple miles of, it's like where we went running.
Yeah. I recognized your Strava map. I was like, oh, that's where we went
Yeah.
for Robbie's bachelor party. That's not a bachelor party.
Yeah. Midlife crisis bachelor party.
Didn't it feel like a bachelor party, Carl?
It kind of was in a way.
We had
With your mom.
We had Robbie's mom and Justine Arslan.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. My mom wasn't hanging out the whole time. She helped with the food. But anyways,
Just a little dancing. Left.
Oh,
I mean, she still got it. She still got it. And my uncle brought his stripper raccoons with.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
The tassels were amazing.
Yeah.
How do you train a raccoon to do that? I don't know.
You can, trust me. But so there's snow on the ground. I was running at first in straight snow. I was like, this is a horrible idea.
And then you got to the gay snow.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was super colorful and all was good. No, it was then the crushed gravel showed up and it was fine. But yeah, I was wearing those Tracksmith NDO tights, which
Or like those without the suspenders.
yeah, pretty much. Well, you know how they're almost like
They're
a
thick.
wetsuit.
Yeah.
I get the worst
Chafing?
grundle
Grundle
chafing
chafe.
from those. And I just had to take a whole handful of snow and shove it down my tights.
No, that would make it worse.
Yeah, that's not the answer.
Believe it or not, it actually helped.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. Somebody who's a scientist in our audience maybe can help with this. I can wear like the short tights,
Yeah.
pretty much guaranteed to get grundle chafe. But I can wear regular tights and pretty much be fine.
Oh, weird. Maybe it's just a certain cut. Any short tights?
Or is it because of the weather that maybe I'm sweating a little more when you're wearing the shorts? I don't know.
That's probably what it is.
But there's nothing rubbing there. I don't understand what's causing the friction.
I don't know. Some sort of, yeah, maybe it's antimatter or something.
Dark matter.
But I do like it when it's super cold out.
Like
And
today, this morning, that was too cold for
If
me.
you just as long as after you get past that first mile.
Meg didn't. She came back and her skin was red.
I don't think I was wearing warm enough stuff. Actually,
That's probably why.
my upper body was fine. I was wearing the new rabbit jacket they just sent called Warm Up and Go. I think that's what it's called.
Yep. Sorry, rabbit. Sorry.
And
That sounds about right.
And it was good. So my like upper body was fine, but yeah, my legs felt like icicles.
I have to say the rabbit tights, I think Tracksmith makes a great tight, but the rabbit pocket tight is also one of my favorites for the winter,
That's actually probably my second favorite.
especially when it's getting cold.
Yeah.
Is it thicker?
It's thicker,
Yeah.
which is funny because they're from California.
Yeah. But no, that is the one thing they do really well. Is it the trail tights? I think.
I think that mine are just the pocket tights.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. They are nice though. I wear those all the time. And I'm trying to think what else was. It is sometimes it's hard to dial in those temperatures, but when you do, it's great. I don't know, but felt nice.
I will tell you this. We've been recommending those Carhartt gloves.
Yeah.
And I wore those the other day when it was 20 degrees because I'm like 20 degrees. Too warm, one.
Yeah.
And when I stopped to change my music because I had like this new punk rock playlist and I was like not vibing on it.
Yeah.
So I stopped to change the music, had to take the gloves off. Trying to get them back, my hands back in because my hands were a little bit, like not even that sweaty, but just a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to get them back in
Yeah.
was nearly impossible. I felt like it was like two things of rubber trying to go past each other. It's like,
I know what you're talking about actually. But yeah, those are for running. Yeah. It almost has to be below 10 degrees.
today would have been a good day for it. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I had mittens on and I was still cold.
Well, the good news is I think you got a pair now for Christmas.
Okay. Thomas can't.
Really good with the surprises.
Really can't resist.
Surprise.
Oh man, we should have just brought him in for the show.
Yeah.
At that point.
I think they're probably from Meg's mom.
Oh,
Just open the Amazon package.
even better. Yeah, but otherwise, what else has been going on?
Well, I wanted to, since this is our last show of the year,
Recap the year.
talk about some fun stats.
Hey, before we get into that, can we talk about a show that we watched? Well, we watched another Christmas movie, but besides that, we watched
What Christmas movie?
Red One.
Red One?
Yeah,
What is Red
the
One?
one with the rock last night, Meg.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh, I
not
thought it was
into that.
about a Santa Claus.
It
Red,
is.
Red One. Oh, it
Red
really
One
is?
is Santa Claus.
Okay.
So, by the way,
it also sounds like a Russian spy movie.
The dude who does those State Farm commercials is like Santa Claus in this.
Okay.
You looked up his name, J.K. something.
Yeah. I forget.
Oh,
already.
yeah, from
Dude
the
is
drumming movie.
Dude is strapped.
Yeah. Oh,
Dude
really?
is ripped. And apparently he started working out when he was like 61 for a movie or something. He's
Well, he
69
had
now.
to. Remember he had to like lose a bunch of weight for this role, and then he wanted to gain it back, so he started this like strength routine,
Oh.
and he got jacked.
What was the drumming movie? Whiplash. Yeah.
And I don't know if I saw that.
man.
Was that good?
He's like intimidating in that movie.
Okay. So
It's
he,
a great movie.
he gets jacked and he's playing side by side with The Rock. So, look like you got any muscles at all next to The Rock is impressive.
Yeah.
The dude's 69.
Wow. Man.
Yeah, we looked up everything.
That's cool.
We know his background.
The movie, on the other hand,
That was.
it had a lot
terrible.
of Rotten Tomatoes, 30% Rotten Tomatoes. It earned them.
Yeah. I mean, Hot Frosty's been the talk of the town.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I haven't yet, but
Did
I
Kimmy?
heard people talk about it at parties, all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's so
No, we haven't watched
out
it.
there that it's almost so bad it's good
Yeah.
kind of thing. But yeah.
I think it helps that that guy is also jacked in the movie.
Yeah. So
Man, Jack.
he's shredded.
Yeah, shredded.
He's shredded.
That's
like
making
a
a comeback.
julienne salad.
Soy boys are out. Jacked and shredded is in.
That is true. We also I go on Prime TV to watch the Beast show.
Oh yeah,
And-
that's what I wanted to talk about.
And I start watching. I'm like, I actually think Meg would like this. So Meg was about to go out on a run. I was like, hey, come here, check this out, because I won't watch
Perfect.
it. I
Good
won't.
timing.
I won't watch this if you like it. I'll wait till we can watch it together. Meg was glued to her seat, and so we were like, all
so
right,
good.
I hate how much I couldn't stop watching
It's
it. I was like,
so
this is
good.
so dumb, and I was like, but I can't stop watching it.
No, it's amazing. The psychological game he comes up with is so
what
messed up.
I was telling Thomas, I was like, does he have a degree in psychology? Like, where does this come from?
I'm sure he has consultants that are like, this is what will happen if you do this. Because that they did. So when I'm a psychology major, and throughout college, they did all these tests after World War II to find out why the German public would go along with extermination of the Jews. And they did all these tests of like obeying authority figures and doing what you're told. And we are kind of messed up
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But like the fact that there was such high emotion so early on
I know.
was crazy.
Well, I think when people have that idea that just that seed is planted, that you could have $5 million.
Yeah, I guess we should tell people who don't know what we're talking about what the premise of the show is. So well, first of all, who's Mr. Beast?
I mean, if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, you probably shouldn't be listening to this.
Yeah.
But no, he's the biggest YouTuber of all time. He has like 300 million subscribers. Just ridiculous. But I don't know. I would say probably more kids watch it, or teens. But at this point, I feel like most people will know.
I think I don't know.
Well, maybe especially after this show, which
Yeah.
just started. What is it even called?
Beast Games.
Beast Games.
So he's doing the largest game show in history, which has a $5 million grand prize and giving away tons of more money.
Like millions every day.
And there's 1,000 contestants.
Well, it starts out with 1,000, but it goes down pretty fast.
Yeah, so you start weeding out the contestants pretty quickly, but the games and everything, they're ridiculous.
The people who like self-identified to drop out, that part was the craziest part for me, I think. Like,
That wasn't so interesting to me.
and we were waiting for like the people that sacrifice themselves for this whole other team to win. Like, I was expecting Mr. Beast to be like,
come
hey,
back.
yeah, here's a prize. And it was just like, bye.
I wonder if they come back later in the show, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first
I
episode.
mean, they had to eliminate 1,000. I mean, it starts with 1,000 people. I doubt those people are coming back.
Probably not.
The other thing that I thought was crazy is the people that emphatically were like, I won't take the deal. I won't take the deal. I won't take the deal. And then they take the deal,
Yeah.
like, and you're like, you just screwed
Everyone
over.
on your team. Yeah. I mean, like people are inherently selfish and terrible people. I feel like that guy's falls apart quickly. Like you said, with the whole German thing,
I think
like self-survival.
There's two parts to it though. You feel like when you start cracking, you're like, if I'm cracking,
Then someone else is gonna.
somebody else will crack, and this is my opportunity. Because like right now, they ended on the second episode with like a cliffhanger.
I haven't seen the second one
Okay.
yet. I'm waiting to watch it with my kids.
I won't tell you what happens, but it's a cliffhanger, and it's getting to a point where you know someone's gonna fold, and it's gonna eliminate an entire team of people.
I mean, the worst one for me was, and we can move on after. There is a Mr. B, because he does all these kinds of games on his show at other points, but he had two people living together for I think several months, and they were in the same room.
Oh, I remember you telling us about this. Yeah.
And then at the very end, he gave them the chance to steal the other person's money, like right when they were leaving the room. Like they were each going to get $500,000 or something. And he was like, you have 30 seconds to steal the other person's money. I was like, dude, that's messed up.
Did either of them take it?
They didn't. Like, but, you know, they would never see each other again. They could. It's pretty
Yeah, but you
crazy.
got to live with that for the rest of your life.
I know, but
and the $500,000. I mean, your taxes, if you take it for taxes, but
anyway, so that is entertaining. I was looking forward to watching
the
that.
thing is that his premises are so simple that you're like, why hasn't anybody done this? But it's the resources he has.
Yeah, he built a city.
Well, what I love about him is that the whole
on
time
rock and roll too.
he's been he's just having fun, and so he's like, if he makes money, he puts it back into having more fun.
That's what I love about him so much is that he doesn't, because he's definitely had buyout offers from, you know, networks or companies, but he literally just loves what he does, and he doesn't do it for the money at all. Like he just pours everything right back into it, which is why it's so successful. And he's partly autistic. I'm pretty sure. Like I think he's even said that.
They did have problems. Like my son was telling me that one of the guys got in trouble for messaging little boys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He is no longer on
Yeah,
the show.
he's gone.
That makes sense. I mean, but at this point, Mr. Beast has got to be worth a ton. He's got a chocolate brand.
Well, just his
He's
brand
I
value.
looked it up the
Yeah.
other day.
He's
but
got
yeah.
restaurant stuff.
Have you ever looked it up?
Yeah, I did when we were watching, and I forget what it said.
What I thought was genius is what he did during COVID, where he
500 million.
put his burgers into other people's
Oh yeah.
restaurants.
Yeah. No, he's smart, or whoever his team is. But anyways, so yeah, that's been cool. And yeah, what did I had too much caffeine yesterday, and sometimes I'll wake up.
Oh, that's worse.
Do you know when you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep?
Why'd you have so much caffeine?
I don't know. I was just drinking stuff with caffeine in it.
Like all day and night?
I
Like
had
Monster Energy?
I had
or-
a couple of these of coffee, and then I had some Diet Dr. Pepper in the afternoon, and that usually in conjunction. I don't do well with caffeine.
Dr. Pepper has caffeine?
And then, so I woke up in the middle of the night and I was thinking about, you know, all this stuff probably that we're doing now. And you just start thinking about everything in life.
Yeah, that's the ones where I wake up and Meg's like, why did you get up? And I'm like, because I just knew I was up. Like,
Yeah.
there's a certain level of alertness.
I almost was there, and then I managed to fall back asleep. But I for some reason, I think I had this dream about a cat, like a kitten type cat.
Kitty cat?
Yeah. And I had this idea in my head that I couldn't let go of, which was if you found the two biggest house cats in the world
Okay.
and started
What size is, what would you consider the biggest house cat?
like a large tomcat, like this big, right?
Or those cats that you like that are like
Oh,
little
I want
lions.
one of those that look like leopards.
Yeah.
No, but these are just, I'm talking like they are domesticated type
You're
cats.
just talking a big fat cat like
And-
Garfield.
Yeah. And you bred them. Could you eventually,
Well, if they're two tomcats, you can't.
or what's a tamcat? What's the opposite of a tomcat?
I think just a female cat.
A mom cat. So if you take
kitty.
those, and you would breed them to create bigger cats, could you ever reach the size of a tiger
No.
over time?
That's
I
not
mean,
how
you
that
could probably
works.
get a giant cat. Yeah, like you could manipulate into larger and larger cats, but it would probably like have like health issues.
You know how humans over time have gotten taller?
Yeah.
So I'm talking about if you did this over centuries, could you take a
I don't think it
normal
would
house
take
cat?
centuries. They reproduce a lot faster than us. And if ours is naturally through selection happen, we could artificially select for them. And so,
It could happen.
yeah, I think you could, they do that. Like
Why-
have
why?
you heard of,
I just want to see if you could have a house cat that was as big as a tiger.
they mix buffalo with regular like bulls and steer.
Oh,
And they got that, what is it called? Like
like a liger?
it's kind of like that. It's a very hardy, like big bull thing.
Bred for skills and magic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, sorry, that was ridiculous. But I was legitimately thinking about that at 4 a.m. and wondering how if that could be achieved.
I like how that's what you're thinking about when you get up. You're like, yeah, I was thinking about working today, and mostly
It's
two cats.
It's spun out of control.
Well, I will tell you, there's a bunch of cats behind the Harris Teeter, so you could
really?
probably start there.
And a bunch of animal food.
Well, yeah. Oh, do you get? So we're driving around there. There are bags of dog food. They must like expire, and then they just put it out by the dumpster.
Oh, like the Petco?
yeah,
Yeah.
bags. I'm talking like bags.
No way.
And I was just like,
Like it's hundreds and probably thousands of dollars worth of
Oh,
dog
I
food.
would dumpster dive that.
well, I was thinking,
What do you do with expired dog food?
who'd eat it?
It's a dog. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
I
they'll
thought
be all right.
I thought you were just saying for yourself, like
Yeah.
out in like it could be camping food.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kibble.
dude, it's fine. You think your dog is gonna put up a fight if you throw down the?
Maybe it
expired
gets
food?
ill.
It's not. It's the same. The expiration dates are suggestions always.
That's true. We've talked about this.
That's just science.
All right, first check in. Man, year comes after you fast, but this is great because you have the start of 2025 to make some new habits and maybe go after some new goals. So this is a perfect time if you want to go after a mileage goal or maybe start lifting weights to, help out with your running. This is the time to set those goals and kind of make an effort to do it.
All right, guys. LMNT is still a sponsor of this podcast, but for a limited time, they're offering their chocolate medley.
Ooh, that sounds pretty delicious.
It's not like you're not going to put that in your bubbly water.
No,
You could.
could you?
You
Okay.
could.
You want it heated up, I think.
Yeah, some hot water with either the chocolate mint, the chocolate chai, or the chocolate raspberry.
I've heard it's pretty good in coffee too.
You could also put it in your coffee.
Okay.
Would you do it before your run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some hot coffee, some chocolate medley.
I do like a mocha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Also, our offer is still available. So you can go to element.com/thedrop and get a free Element sample pack.
Do you know if the sample pack would have this chocolate in it?
Yeah, it
Oh,
does.
there you go.
So go get them and enjoy.
Are there really that? Because sometimes I'll drive back there just to see
Like
if there's
stacks.
anything out there.
So my whole trick now is like if you drive the normal way you're supposed to drive in that parking lot.
I always
So,
no. This has always been my trick. I always go behind.
yeah. So we have a shopping center near us, and the parking lot is clearly designed by
Who
people.
designs parking lots?
It's like the Hunger Game parking lot.
Yeah.
And it's just horrible. Like we saw somebody hit a boulder in that parking lot
it's
and rip open the side of their car.
It's a bad design. I would say.
So I started driving behind and popping up the back.
Yeah.
You also did that?
Oh yeah, that's because I used to ride my bike kind of back there, just checking things out, and then I realized this is way faster to do this. Go drive past the Tesla chargers.
Yeah.
Which that's a weird scene back there.
Yeah.
Oh, just people hanging out in their
Yeah.
cars.
I think they're all Uber drivers or something, just charging while they're
Yeah,
sitting waiting.
yeah. But you can't look in those dumpsters though, because there's too many people driving past.
These are, but the dog bags are by
They're
the
outside
side
of
of
the
it,
dumpster.
That must-
yeah.
just stacked up.
Man, that's crazy. I hope someone does get those, because presumably they wouldn't be that out of date.
I'm wondering if like even the people that like even if you're the garbage guy, you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, bags giant, and I'm talking those giant bags.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many pounds that'd be, like 50 pounds?
Yeah.
30
No,
pounds?
That seems like too
30
much.
pounds?
Maybe.
Of dog food, like in a big sack.
I don't know, man.
I'm sure if you look in the dumpster, there's some animals too, but
Ooh, I hope not.
anyway, there's cats living back there, and so we could try that experiment and see if we could make a giant cat.
Yeah, the cat situation's out of control in general.
Too many cats.
They're an invasive species.
Cats?
Yeah, house cats. They're killing bird populations at unprecedented rates.
Do you have any stats to back
I
this
do.
up?
I have looked these stats up recently, and it's out of control. There should be some sort of
I think Robbie should get a ranger outfit and just walk around with
Baltimore City.
the stun gun
near
thing.
Drury Hill and just be like, I'm now the urban ranger.
I bet you could, and no one would stop you.
No.
If you had just a badge
Yeah.
and like all green outfit, everybody would think, oh, you are.
Give him your Adidas media vest. Yeah. Be good to go.
Like, think about it. What authority? Like, if you saw a dude walking by and he had like a state park badge and like a little thing, you'd be like, oh yeah, yeah.
And in Baltimore, nobody knows what's going on in the government anyway, so you could convince them probably
I'm
for
seeing
years.
a lot of anti-Baltimore Instagrams in my feed now.
Why?
Like people like filming, like they go to like the crappiest areas and film like the boarded up houses and stuff, and they're like, don't visit Baltimore.
Oh,
At first I got mad, but like I'm like, no, maybe our people need to see this, that this is what's being projected out there, and this is what
I mean,
like we got to fix this stuff.
I'm pretty sure people's opinions on Baltimore are solidified at this point.
Yeah, but like at this point, I don't want to get.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. There should be some sort of pressure to change things or make things better.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of layers to that. Yeah, at least our cars haven't gotten stolen this week.
What a week.
Yours.
That's our
Yours has gotten
exciting
stolen?
thing.
No, yours is the one that gets broken into.
Yeah.
You got to stop leaving stuff like owner's manuals in your car.
I know. I just got a new license plate, and I'm like, why do I even put my registration card in there? I know it's just going to get taken out at some point. But whatever. Yeah, I'm excited for. So Meg, let's go over some of these year-end stats.
Not even year out stats. Like, do you remember everything we did?
Yeah, I know. I got to
No.
go through our trips. But okay, podcast wise, what do you guys think was our number one episode? Maybe you already looked and saw.
I actually haven't. Is it Boston Marathon?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Boston Marathon recap. Fans who like the drop also like the Joe Rogan Experience, Allie on the Run, Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard, Nobody Asked Us with Des and Kara, and the Sidious Mag podcast.
Okay, first off, we need a different list. The Joe Rogan Experience is skewed because it's literally the most popular podcast just across genres. So I feel like that's going to be anyone who listens to any podcast almost. It's going to be
Also
the number one or in the top 5. Whereas, and it's such a huge podcast, it's so much bigger than any other one. And then
Did we turn off the heat because it's getting cold down here?
Dude, there's no heat in here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because even with the heat on, it's still cold.
Okay.
The Alley on the Run, that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, the rest are, Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then obviously Sidious and Des and Kara.
You know what has fallen off that I used to really enjoy is the
Smart List.
yeah, Smart List.
You know what? The Smartless podcast has become almost unlistenable with the amount of ads in it.
Is that the problem?
It's unbelievable. There's so many ads. Even I think Conan's podcast has a lot too now, but the Smartless one for sure is just so many that I hate skipping through it so often. And they're long too. It's like 5 minutes of ads.
I don't really listen to that many podcasts, but I don't know what happened. I might have been in my car and I wanted. Oh, I know what happened. I was listening to the BBC and they had this thing on this like yoga school that was actually trafficking people, and so I started listening to that. And when that went off, the next podcast that came up was a Joe Rogan podcast, and I hadn't really listened to Joe Rogan. And I was like, well, I'll just check this out.
Yeah.
Let it roll. And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting. It was the one about the drones and what's going on with the drones.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I listened to some of that one just because I'm interested in the drone stuff. But
What's your theory? What's happening?
I mean, I'd say it's it's definitely U.S., but I don't know what the purpose is. I know this because I have a couple friends who are in space to know, and they're just like, I can't talk about it. So it's like that means that it's a thing, but they can't. They're like, we can't say anything.
It's that I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. So, I don't know what it is, but
It's maybe a new shoe release that is under embargo.
yeah.
That's what it is.
It's going to be a box from Nike that you're going to open up and have a shoe inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just sending them out to influencers in the New Jersey area.
With codes.
We can't talk about it.
My parents said they saw one near our farm on 2 separate nights, exact same location. And it wasn't like it wasn't there the night before or the one after.
Like I would miss it because we're normally watching Hot Frosty and stuff
Yeah.
at night, so it would go right by my house. They're probably knocking on our window, and we're like, Ralphie's barking. We're like, shut up! Try to watch Hot Frosty.
What if the drone was trying to watch Hot Frosty though?
Well, maybe they're like, hey, they figured us out. We're the snow aliens.
Yeah.
Give us that magic scarf.
Wow. Okay, so website wise, we had about 5 million visitors, which is cool. Top pages.
Wait, you just blew right over that. This is the stuff that blows my mind because, like, I can picture, like, when we get a few thousand people watching a video or watching this, I go, okay, over time, I can understand how that happens. There's interest in a particular shoe or something like that. But 5 million visits, unique visitors to the website, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of humans. This is what's most insane though. Outside of obviously like the homepage and those
Can you imagine if we got $1 for everybody who visited?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe we should set up a GoFundMe to open on our page.
Yeah,
Or
if you
just-
visit, pay $1.
Or, to open this page, you must submit $1.
That's like Wikipedia. I want to punch the screen every time I
Yeah,
open Wikipedia and
that's
they're begging
annoying.
and they're begging me for money.
Yeah.
They don't even write that stuff.
Oh, and they're like, there's a whole thing with, that's a whole different story. Anyways.
But so anyway, outside of obviously the homepage and stuff, the main pages that were visited, and this one's going to make one person extremely happy.
Is it a person with wide feet?
Yeah. Number 1 is best wide foot running shoes. Number 2 was Saucony Endorphin Speed 4.
Okay.
Then Hoka Mach 6, Asics Nova Blast 4, and then best running shoes of 2024 so far.
Okay.
What
makes sense.
What's crazy to me about that is you're going to see one trend kind of go across, and it's the Speed 4. Like this shoe, they must.
I didn't realize how popular that shoe
If
was.
they're not selling this like on a conveyor belt,
Yeah.
they should be because it's across the board on all our stuff. And I don't even think of it as like. I know you guys love it, but to me, it's like an okay shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think it probably
love it.
it works. Yeah. It's so versatile.
Okay.
So YouTube stats, 6 million views in 2024.
That's even crazier. 6 million people look at our faces.
Yeah. And then
I feel sorry for them.
the top videos are always usually like our top shoes. So race day was one of them, 15 most exciting. The 2 shoes that stood out though, which I wouldn't have expected, was the New Balance Rebel V4. That was our 3rd most popular video.
So wait, give us some numbers because like when we were looking at it, I was like blown away by
The best running shoes for race day in 2024 had just under 200K views.
200,000 views.
Best running shoes for race day?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then the second one was the 15 most exciting running shoes of 2024, that 120K.
Okay.
New Balance Rebel V4, 92K. 15 favorite running shoes of 2024, 75K. And then the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4 came in at 5th place, most popular.
Yeah. That's impressive.
So I'm guessing they're selling a lot of those. Or people are just looking at it. Could go either way.
Yeah. I'm just, That's interesting though. I wouldn't have expected that.
What I thought was interesting because you pulled up Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
Get into that. Like, there's two brands that are definitely hot with our audience, and I would say 2-3 years ago it would have been different brands.
Yeah. So just looking at like photos and that type of content, the most popular was Asics across the board, like the top 3. But then the second
Top 3.
then the second 3 were all New Balance shoes.
Wow. Yeah.
Asics and New Balance on top.
And then, of
at
course,
least with our audience.
Thomas loves the most popular reels of 2024.
I do?
Just the shoe, the New Balance shoe
Yeah.
pressing.
Which
yeah.
It's still for 2024.
Yeah.
Those are the
But
top
it's
2.
not- but here's the crazy thing. It's the original one and then the remake.
that's ridiculous.
The original has close to 2 million views on its own, which is so silly.
Wow. Yeah, that's insane.
And then, some unboxings and stuff, but nothing too crazy in terms of that. Yeah, I was looking at our trips from the year, and it was pretty wild.
Name all the places that we went.
Okay. Orlando, LA, that was just me. Boston, Venice, Nuremberg, Brooklyn, back to New York, Lake Tahoe for 2 events, SLO, Nashville, Boston, Columbus, St. Petersburg, Ridgefield, Paris, Berlin, Chicago, New York, Austin.
Dude. Hurts my head.
We've been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
No, that's a song. That's what I was going after.
Oh. So yeah, it was quite a year, very eventful, but what were some of your favorites? I know we kind of touched on our individual podcasts, but in terms of like favorite work event, what do you think it was?
I mean, Olympics has to be up there for sure.
It's so hard because I always love Boston. There's just a different vibe there. Like, it's almost like the running event is industry people that you get to see. Boston is like running community. It's like you see everyone. You see the industry people. You see the athletes. You see, it's just like, even if, and I would tell anybody, even if you're not running Boston, even if you're not, and maybe you may never run Boston, who cares? Come to be part of the event.
It's like a celebration of running.
Yeah, just there's an entire street that is dedicated to all your favorite brands. There's spectating is just as much fun as running.
It's definitely like a carnival without the dunking booth, unfortunately, for runners.
We got to get Robbie a dunking booth.
I know. One of these events, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
So I really love that. But then for me, visiting Germany and going to the Adidas headquarters, there's two, like when I went to the Nike headquarters, I was like, wow, this is where people get to work for. And it's like really impressive. And I felt the same way when we went to Adidas, that it was just so mind blowing, and seeing the archives and the different stuff, and just being in Nuremberg, I thought was such a beautiful city.
Especially if you're not on trial there.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing to just visit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There's a couple of times you wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful city. I mean, that was a fun trip.
I was kind of a little bummed. I mean, it was just a situation at the time, but it seemed like it was cool for sure.
Like, it was so different than Berlin.
Right.
It's kind of like, you know how people would be like New York and they think of America. I think people think of Berlin and they think of Germany.
Yeah.
But Nuremberg was more like going to like a German village. I don't know how.
Okay.
It was like, it seemed like a smaller town. And
almost
it was more quaint.
like Cape Cod, or like if you went to like somewhere in New England that was nice, like not New York City, you know.
It was still a city, but it just had this like a charm to it, like the
there
old
was
churches
cobblestone streets and
which that thing must have gotten hammered with. I don't know how they rebuilt everything to look like it's been there for centuries.
forever.
Almost looked like probably Deep Creek, Maryland.
Yeah,
Just like it.
pretty much. And then the Olympics were just so surreal. It's even hard for me, even now, to wrap my head around the Olympics. Like for me, that was such a.
You know what was my favorite part, I think, was I thought the whole Olympics, we are the world bullshit was like not a thing. Like I was like, the thing they do on TV, oh, the world's come together, everyone's in unity. But it actually felt like that when you were there. Like everyone was super happy. Everyone's from all over the world, different countries, but when you're in the stands and like walking about, everyone's just super positive. Even I think Paris in general felt like that. And I was like, man, that actually was a real thing, which is cool.
And it's a testament to like how much you can get fooled by like the media and just by politics. That like when we're all together as people and it's sport involved. And I think that's why Kipchoge is always like, if everybody ran, we'd all get along just fine.
Except for Jakob Ingebrigtsen and
Josh Kerr.
Josh Kerr.
Yeah, but it is such a like fun environment of just, you didn't care if someone was like rooting for Greece over here or, in a different country over here. And there was no animosity. It was more friendly than even like a soccer match or like a football game.
Yeah.
Well, because I think it's like these are the best of the best athletes. Like it's just cool to spectate any of them because these are like the best, most talented humans in the world. So I think it's just exciting to be in that environment and like, I don't know.
I think I would have liked Venice a little bit better if it had been warmer. I think I was cold the whole time I was in Venice.
And if they didn't lose our luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venice was cool though. That was the first time I'd been to Italy. So
yeah. I'm just saying I would have liked it more. Like I liked it.
For sure.
But just even more.
I still can't get over the fact that you can't get hungover on Italian wine. Like
I'm not sure that's 100% accurate.
Dude, it's true. It's facts.
Okay.
I Googled it too, and there's so many things on Reddit and personal
But you can
testimony.
buy that wine here.
I think they still add more sulfites to preserve it if they're shipping it here.
I don't know, man.
But that explains why we had Prosecco at every single meal.
Dude, and you feel fine the next day. Like no matter how much you drink, if I drank that amount of wine or whatever in the U.S., I'd be
like
done.
at the running event.
Yeah. Okay, that was a little above and beyond the Call of Duty there.
Robbie became a sommelier.
Remind me never to do a dinner with
Nick.
wine tastings again.
I think next time we go to Italy, we have to test out this theory
Yeah.
and see how much you can drink.
I'm pretty sure we tested it out, not to that extent, but we definitely had some good nights.
Yeah.
I also thought California was a really good trip. The Western states and the Broken Arrow. Like, I thought that was good for, like, I liked the group of people that we were with.
Yeah, it was good. No, I feel just the
I mean,
group.
pretty much that's why Taylor's coming on full time, because I was like, yeah,
Yeah, you're kind of cool to hang out with.
Carl needs someone to go in the hot tub with.
Does he though?
Western States was also cool because I've never experienced it like firsthand, and you always see it happening on your news feed or whatever, but actually being there, it was just totally different. And then I was like so hooked and interested in the people running that I was watching the YouTube all the way home on our flight. And so, yeah, that was definitely cool.
That was one of the craziest things, is that our flight left after the race started.
Yeah.
We got back to home,
flew
all the way across the country, and then watched the finish and watched people finishing the next day.
Well, you saw the race start though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't like your flight started when.
No, I'm
you
saying
saw this race.
This guy, Carl,
from the top of a mountain.
I'm trying to think of an alliteration for
Not
Carl going up the mountain.
camera Carl.
No, more like more like a Billy
Oh,
Goat.
climbing Carl.
Yeah.
Climbing Carl.
There it is.
That morning was a long morning. We climbed up to the top. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I was freezing my ass off, but it was worth it because
The photos.
the photos just were. I don't know how you could take a bad photo up there. Second check-in. Hope you're enjoying our recap. I'm sure you're thinking about your year and kind of thinking back on all the good stuff that happened. And isn't it funny? You tend to start to forget the bad stuff and you start to focus on the good stuff. And I found that that's always the way that at least my mind works. The further you get away from stuff, the good stuff remains and the bad stuff goes away. So if you had a rough year, let's hope that 2025 is even better.
All right, guys, let's talk about our sponsor, Lagoon Pillows.
All right, let's do it.
We've been using them for years now. Still my favorite pillow ever. And now's a great time to gift a pillow.
Do you ever remember sleep without a Lagoon pillow under your head?
I mean, when we travel and it's not great.
Yeah, I felt like the last hotel we were at, it was almost like someone rolled up some socks and put it in the pillow to give it the stuffing.
Socks and rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you want a really great pillow, you can go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. There is a quiz right on that page. Just hit the button, fill out your information, say what you like, what you don't like, and it'll populate the perfect pillow for you. And if you use the code BELIEVE at checkout, you can also save.
But yeah, and then just seeing the athletes come through and knowing that it was only the beginning of their trip. How many miles was that up?
That was like 3, right?
Yeah,
Not even.
3 or 4, and they had 97 miles to go. They're all pumped up. They're all feeling good. They're coming through. It was pretty insane, and the fact that there was probably 100 spectators at the top of that mountain.
Yeah.
Just like cheering these guys on. Like it's got to be anticlimactic after that because you climb the mountain, you get this big cheering group at the top of the mountain, and then you've got 97 miles of no more people.
But they've got crews and
yeah. It's not the same as like reaching the top of the mountain and having to run through a tunnel of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was sick.
That's cool.
And I do have to give an update because the podcast went out with me telling you what I was excited about for 2025. One of the things was something I'm not doing. The OCC was sold out. So Carl and I are not running the 35-mile race.
Are you relieved or sad?
Yeah, there's a part of me that's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. And there's a part of me that's like, oh, that's kind of like that was going to be something big. We are doing a 20K version, which is also weird because I think it's actually only 15K, but they're listing it as a 20K and they're giving you the extra because they say the vertical climb is so much that it's worth a 20K.
So it's just an arbitrary number.
Well, the other one was a 50K, but it was 35 miles. So they're just like, this is
Close enough.
Yeah. I think it's like that European thing. Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. That's cool though.
So yeah, Carl will be doing that. Taylor, myself, we are all signed up, and we'll be running that with Kraft.
If you guys
Not
had
the cheese singles. the
I
shoe company.
might also have
Crafty
Kraft
Carl.
singles with me.
Yeah, Crafty Carl.
Carl.
That's a good one.
if you guys had to choose one brand of the year, what would it be? Like in terms of maybe overall best running shoes or most innovative?
I mean, it's tough. I would say the top. Like if you think of the top,
I'm trying to think about the shoes that came out
I'm trying to
this
think
year.
of shoe brands.
Yeah.
I mean, the top shoes that we picked out for most of our stuff were always Adidas, Asics, and Hoka, and New Balance. I would say were our top.
I think Hoka did some pretty cool stuff. I mean, Brooks, honestly.
Yeah.
I think
some
Brooks
good things.
next year.
Okay.
And I brought the Brooks Hyperion Elite for PB and
Which we'll talk about
because
a little
I
bit.
ran in that.
I also feel like Asics I would push into 2025. Like I don't feel like they did anything amazing this year.
Yeah,
They have amazing stuff coming.
They were consistent this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Nike is starting to creep back from the depths.
True.
Like they've had some cool stuff, especially
Again,
towards
I
the
think
end of the
that's
year.
going to be at 2025.
Yeah.
Adidas had some really good stuff, but that's also kind of coming 2025.
See, and I kind of feel weird about this because I do like our best of, if we could have included, would have probably included 2 Adidas shoes that we didn't include, the Pro 4.
Which, yeah, but doesn't come out till, that one definitely doesn't come out till next year because that hasn't even been on sale.
Yeah, you have been able to buy it at like expos and stuff, just not.
I mean,
mass
Well, wait,
quantities.
how did Eric Schulman get it?
or no, it has been on sale. Yeah, wait. Right, I was thinking the white colorway. Yeah, no, I mean, but it came out, yeah, right. So it was all after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they just released stuff in a month before.
Their Adidas's
Well,
strategy for release is strange to
so
me.
originally when they came out and
Yeah, you can buy the Pro 4 right
yeah,
now.
you can.
Yeah.
But originally it was supposed to be January 1st.
Yes.
And then the SL was supposed to be March, which now it like they did a drop with Dick's or whatever in some running warehouse.
But this is confusing to me because, like, okay, where do you want us to put this shoe?
yeah.
And we could have legitimately given it top marks for 2024. Now it's in 2025. Plus, you know that we're going to see some crazy stuff in 2025. So if they just push those releases up a little bit, like,
Or just told, honestly, if they would have just told us, oh, it's dropping in first week of December, I feel like we could have, or right after Thanksgiving,
yeah,
but we didn't know that before we put out our lists.
yeah.
What about Saucony?
Uh,
They had some cool stuff towards the end of the year.
Is the Endorphin Elite 2 on?
No, that's
No.
March, I think.
Yeah.
It's all 2025.
No.
Not them.
Yeah, like they had some okay stuff. Although I will say I didn't run in the Triumph or,
I did.
yeah.
And I've run in the Ride, and I like the Ride. It's fine. But I think that Solomon shoe is a better version of it. What's the Solomon?
Glide Max or no?
Aeroglide?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be the Aeroglide 2 or 3.
Yeah, 3.
I thought that was same concept, same type of foam, better shoe.
Speaking of, someone asked me about I can't remember if they're a bigger runner or they just needed some stability in a race day shoe, and they were like, "What?" I'm running my first marathon around 4 hours or something like that. I was like, dude, just get the S Lab Spectre, and they said they took it out for a 20-mile long run, and it was amazing.
Oh, nice.
I was like, yeah, it's like perfect.
It's made a few people's lists
Yeah.
for the end of the year. Solomon's a sleeper. I don't know how to get more people to try them for their road shoes. But there's something weird that they kind of have this premium feel for the trails, and then it doesn't carry over to the road for them.
Yeah. Yeah, like some of their shoes, it's a little hit or miss.
What about
Mizuno's the comeback shoe of the year, I
Yeah.
think.
what about New Balance? They've had some good stuff.
New Balance had some good stuff. My favorite this year from them is probably the Rebel.
Pacer.
Yeah, the Pacer.
I
was
did like the Pacer
good.
too.
I really liked the new SC Trainer. I know you guys didn't as much.
Yeah, it was medium. And I was surprised. Some people like the Ballast, but I thought it wasn't.
It was a good shoe. It just I'm unsure of where it fits.
But it's one of those ones I felt similar to the Endorphin Trainer, that it's like a shoe that's like, is it worth? Like, oh, you did the PBA and stuff. It feels like a premium 1080.
Yeah.
But not enough for me to go, let me drop another $50. Like, I'd be like, oh, this feels like the 1080.
Yeah, totally. Trying to think what else. I like the
Newcomer we gave to Mount to Coast.
yeah. I like their shoes. They have some cool stuff coming in.
They came in hot out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think definitely Mizuno is up and coming from a traditional brand that's been out of it for a while. Nike would also be on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 2025 might be a pretty fun year for shoes and brands.
I feel like some brands are in an in between year, and then other ones are turning the page.
You think like 2026 is going to be?
I think so.
Yeah.
'Cause
I don't know. I think we're going to see a couple fun things from ASICS this year.
Yeah.
I think we are. You got to try that racer.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a big year for ASICs.
Yeah, probably. On the trail side is bonkers though. The trail side's coming out crazy, like for 2025. Just
Is it Norda 005 2025?
yeah,
Okay,
March.
yeah.
That's gonna be ridiculous. The
People are going to love
even
that.
the Satisfy shoe looks
Oh yeah, the rocker.
super legit.
When can we post our video on the rocker?
Not till February or something,
Okay.
or whenever they. Yeah, it's weird because they put all the specs like and all the details on their Instagram, but just haven't shown a full photo of the shoe. I'm just like, just put the shoe out there.
Yeah.
But it's not coming till July.
Oh,
Oh, it's not?
Yeah.
that's a ways away.
It's a pretty shoe.
Yeah. And then just so many trail shoe brands are out there and coming out really awesome stuff. The North Face is pretty much at the top, creating some crazy good shoes.
So I've seen some of the new Arc'teryx stuff, and I don't know. We know that one of the designers that we really loved from New Balance is there now,
Yeah.
but they're kind of getting away from what I thought was kind of their look, which was that really clean, like silhouette. And matter of fact, Taylor posted he had that S-Lab black boot zip up thing. I was like, that looks to me like I'm surprised that hasn't caught on with like the fashion.
Yeah. Probably will.
So it's like a very cool looking.
We're reviewing a couple of the Arc'teryx shoes right now.
Yeah, I saw Taylor posted them, and I'm like, I'm wondering if these are ones that our guy is working on because it looks different than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have no idea. But yeah, I think the trail scene is going to see some really cool stuff. Normal. And there's so many brands too coming out and making trail stuff.
Do you think that the trail side is easier than the road side?
Like, what do you mean?
For me, the dirt surfaces are more forgiving. And a lot of time, if you can make a good upper that holds your foot over a midsole, you don't have to get as crazy with the midsole. And then you just have to make sure you have like a Vibram outsole on it and you're good.
Yeah, but the problem is that I think a lot of the brands want to take advantage of the moment with the carbon plates and super foams, which is just very, very hard to dial into the trails. Like so many in the very beginning, a year or two ago, everyone was trying to do that. And it was just a really crazy, some disastrous shoes. Like the Saucony, whatever. What was the trail?
Oh, the one that fell apart, the Endorphin?
Not the Endorphin trail, the first one that fell apart. But why am I forgetting? The next version of it, basically. And that was just super unstable and crazy to run in. And so it's very hard to do that. I feel like Hoka's done a good job with the Tecton.
Do you think it's harder to go from trail shoe to legitimate road shoe, or is it tougher to go from road shoe to a legitimate trail shoe?
Oh, like, are you talking like Solomon going from trail to road?
Or even we're going to see Speedland moving into a road shoe.
Yeah, that one's exciting too.
We're watching Mounted Coast go from road to trail.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because ASICS kind of just slaps an outsole on some of their shoes.
Lugs.
And I mean, there's some other changes too to some of their trail stuff, but their trail shoes are really solid and nobody talks about them. I think because they don't market them at all.
I don't think they care about it, yeah.
They really don't care. But people really love their trail shoes that try them out.
The Trabuco was a great shoe. Like that one was one that I went out on the trails. I was only going to run a certain amount of miles and just kept going. I was just like, oh, this feels so good.
Well, I also feel like that's kind of
Trabuco
I
Max.
haven't worn the Hokas in a long time, but when I was running trails, it was like I loved the Hoka road shoes, and it just felt like they put lugs on them, and that was
The Challenger
trail.
was a clipped
yeah.
in with
like that's
Right.
I loved that shoe.
in that year. I think you came in second place at Hat 50K in that shoe.
Yeah, I always wear those shoes for hat because they work for road too.
Yeah.
But then that Mafate X that we saw at Terry, that's 50 millimeter stack height. I'm like, does that really need to be a thing on the trails?
I mean, if you don't want to feel the trail.
Yeah, I'd wear it.
Yeah,
I don't know. At 12 something ounces, 12 and a half ounces.
Oh, another big comeback brand, and it probably doesn't feel like a comeback because they're already at the top for most stuff. It's Brooks. I think that they finally have decided to join the party with some of the tip of the spear product. Yeah. And then it seems like the rest of the product line is getting upgrades that are really nice. I gave my glycerins to Carl to review. I know that you ran in the glycerin.
Yeah. Did you run it yet, Carl? 60 miles. Yeah, it's a freaking great shoe. I've never said that about a glycerin before, I don't think. And I thought I loved it.
It's not the glycerin max, but it's similar.
Yeah.
Build.
It's pretty high stack.
Yeah. It just, the glycerin max, yeah, is kind of ridiculous. But it feels the same as the same foam. They finally dialed in the DNA Flash V3 or whatever to where it's like just really nice.
Well, it's got the dual density.
Yeah. I think that was a huge game changer for them. But yeah, I mean, I think, and especially since they already have such a built-in, not fan base, but just runners in general. I think, they're set to. Wish they weren't a private company.
I thought they were Berkshire Hathaway.
I mean, they're like part of that whole thing.
You can't.
I'm pretty sure they don't have their own stock ticker. Can you look that up?
That would be weird. Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway. I'm surprised it wouldn't have.
What do you want to know about them?
Do they have Are they just part of Berkshire Hathaway Holdings, or do they have their own like stock ticker?
Are they publicly traded? I think what he's trying to say.
I think they might be publicly traded as a portfolio, like in the whole portfolio, but that includes all of Warren Buffett's holdings, Coca-Cola, Walmart, whatever.
No, I think it's just Berkshire Hathaway. It says it's a holding company run by Warren Buffett.
Yeah, so it's like a conglomerate of a bunch of holdings. But yeah, because they've like year over year are ridiculous.
$715 billion.
Yeah.
It's the 6th largest public company in the world.
Yeah.
What is?
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Okay, if you guys had to choose 2 shoes, you get one race day, one whatever, daily trainer, tempo, whatever you want it to be, that came out in 2024, what are you picking?
Did you say one overall best?
One race day shoe and one other daily trainer-ish shoe. What are you choosing that came out in 2024?
It's so boring, but I'd have to go Super Blast 2 for one of them. If the Evo SL is considered 24, it would be kind of it would be a tough choice between those two for the daily trainer, especially knowing I could have a race day shoe. If I know I could have a race day shoe, then I'd probably go Evo SL and then get a race day shoe. But if it's Super Blast,
dude, Adidas is gonna sell so many of that shoe. It's insane. Like forever and ever.
It almost might be a problem because it's gonna be like you're gonna not want to get the shoe because people are gonna be using it for like
lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle, and you'd be like, but it's great.
So what's your race day shoe?
That came out this year?
Yeah.
I know this sounds insane. Oh, wait. Are you going?
No, you can go if you got yours.
I seriously love the Diodora Gar Carbon. I know
that came out this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like February.
Okay.
But I know I only did one actual race, was the Charles Street.
And you know what I'm going to say about it.
Maybe.
For me, I need a little more toe spring.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just really liked it. Maybe I just had every run I had was great in it. I don't know. But I mean, that's what it is.
It's a great shoe. Where I would knock it is the weight. It's in the middle weight. For my size 10 and a half, it's like 8.3.
Yeah, but that's not too far. I mean, you're right. Yeah, it's in the
8.3
average.
I even though I didn't race. I did do a 10K in it. I really like the Pro 4, the Adidas Pro 4.
Oh no, I would put that. I guess it just depends where you put it.
Okay, so we're not putting that this year.
I would put that. I guess you could. I mean, either way, if it had the more room in the toe box where I could maybe half size up.
Yeah.
I mean, because I ran Berlin and the Turkey Trot 5K, where I had a pretty good day.
I like both those, and I thought the Asics Paris Edge was a phenomenal shoe.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job with that shoe, and I love. So, two of my favorite races this year was the Annapolis Half, and then the Cherry Blossom 10 miler. And I wore the Edge and the Sky for each of those, and I loved them both. I thought they were both great. I thought the shoes performed really well. I really liked. This was the first year I kind of stepped away from the Alpha Fly, where as much as I love it, I kind of felt like you could line up in some of these other shoes. I still was getting really good performance out of them without feeling like I was wearing like a bazooka.
Yeah. What about, yours is the Alpha Fly, right, Meg?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say Alpha Fly 3 for race day. And then this has some recency bias to it, but I think I'd go Glycerin Max.
All right.
Daily
Whoa.
Trainer. Yeah.
I like
That is crazy, really.
Yeah. Wow.
Queen of Kush.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Daily Trainer, though. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably beat the Super Blast too, but
It's so hard to beat a shoe with that much cushioning, that light, that just rolls.
Yeah. I will say I've been reaching for the Nike
I was going to say.
Zoom
Zoom X.
X6.
Zoom Fly
Zoom
6.
Fly 6.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably another one.
And so that's a good, like that would be
I
a good
never
one.
thought I'd be saying that, but yeah, the Zoom Fly 6 is such a fun shoe. Carl, did you run in that yet? I did. What'd you think?
I did it on a treadmill because of how cold it was outside. So it's great, but I can't wait to actually run outside.
All right, so you can't really hear Carl off, but he said he ran on a treadmill.
Because it's too cold out.
I agree with him. I got on the treadmill this morning. I was like,
I
screw
went
that.
outside and regretted it.
Yeah, you came back looking
4
all
miles
like
in.
you had second-degree burns. All right, final check-in. Man, thanks for hanging in there, making it all the way to the third check-in. If you're out there running, keep hustling. And we can't wait to see what you do in this new year. Maybe we'll see you at one of our events. Maybe we'll see you at the Grit Party in January 11th. Who knows? Or maybe we'll see you in Chicago or New York or one of the other majors. So keep an eye out for us. We'll keep an eye out for you. And hopefully you're having a great 2025.
All blistered up.
So wait, did you give your daily?
I don't. I was gonna say probably Super Blast 2, but again, I like the Adidas SL2. I thought that was a great shoe, but like it was also $130 shoes. So if I had the choice, price not a factor, yeah, Super Blast 2. I
mean,
why else you would pick
if
anything?
price
else?
is not a factor, I like the CLO X1 for daily training. That was fun.
Yeah,
$275
is wild though.
And I'd also throw, I really enjoyed, I did that extra like bit of mileage in the Rebel to get that review after a bit. I enjoyed the Rebel. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for, I think the slight improvement that you're making with a little bit more cushion under the forefoot is going to make it a little bit nicer.
And they're also kind of streamlining their like shoe lineup.
How do you mean?
Like how Nike just sort of redid their whole lineup. It seems like they might sort of streamline it in
New Balance,
2025
New Balances?
too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not to that extreme, but a
Right.
little bit.
I mean, do you think we'll see SE Trainer 4?
I think it might turn into something else.
Oh, I think I knew that, but
That poor shoe, because remember the original Trainer, the real squishy one?
Yeah, that like,
People loved that shoe.
and it was so unique in the space at the time. Like we didn't have that
yeah.
plated, giant, stack, heavier training shoe.
I've been purging shoes and I can't get rid
Can't
of that
quit
one.
that one?
Yeah, that's one that I can't get rid of.
I get it.
It is weird. That is a weird thing so people always ask us what we do with the shoes. There's certain shoes that we hold on to just because sentimental value or just they're unique in the market or, a lot of times we keep a pair or two from the previous version so we can kind of see the updates. And there is some that just have, why are you holding on to it? You're just like, I don't know. I just don't want to let it go.
Yeah. It just seems like there's some shoes you're like, that was a shoe that changed things, or that was like the first of that kind of shoe. I felt like the SC Trainer was the first of the super trainers, like that you actually run in.
Here's
like
the one that I think
daily trainer type
we
shoes.
always overlook it, but I believe that the first super trainer, to me, I mean, I guess Zoom Fly was supposed to be, but the real one for me was the Tempo.
Yeah. I never actually ran in that shoe.
I know.
I didn't like it.
I think my trainer went to Jarrett. So I don't have my original, and that was the RC trainer or whatever, but
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you meant you're like a trainer that you're working with went to Jared the jeweler.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Buy engagement rings for everybody now.
align that in my head.
There's a whole lot to unpack there.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, I forgot. I was just remembering. We shot the Endorphin trainer review, which we didn't give it a good review. I forgot I didn't even say how much I hated how loud that shoe was. That was the other thing I hated about that shoe.
I was always wearing headphones, so I didn't really hear it.
Oh,
Just slaps.
it's louder than the Alpha Fly.
Oh, geez.
You know what was the loudest shoe ever? Was the first Metaspeed.
Yeah.
Oh,
The original
Yeah.
Metaspeed was just a real noisemaker.
Metaspeed
Tokyo?
Sky. The first one.
oh, okay. Not that.
It was like clap, clap,
Not the
clap,
Meta
clap,
Racer,
clap,
okay.
clap.
No, not the Meta Racer.
Gotcha. Well, it was in the Tempo Next Percent, kind of known as one of the loudest shoes as well.
It's pretty loud,
Yeah.
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 Because it had that space. I still have a pair of those.
Yeah.
Sentimental reasons.
Yeah, sentimental, but I felt like that was almost the peak Nike
Yeah.
age.
The other shoes I just can't get rid of are the Nike trail shoes because they look so good. I just can't. I can't do it. It's so hard, especially the ones from a couple years back when they're doing those really cool colors with the Kiger and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like are you talking about the white and pink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just can't do it.
That was when we were out at Worlds in Oregon. Was that Oregon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody was wearing that new Nike trail shoe. Remember? We saw
Oh yeah, the Zagama.
Yeah, and it looked so good.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Good times.
Anyways, what?
You want to get into
Speaking
these
of race shoes, let's talk about this
right.
shoe that you have said a lot of things about.
All right. So if you ever known, we kind of slapped Brooks with a video last year or in the beginning of this year about the disappointment of what they were using for a foam in the shoe. And it's funny because we already put a video. I put a video out with Carl's help on YouTube that talks about how they updated the shoe after we kind of said, hey, it sucks that Brooks doesn't have a viable race day shoe. They're using a supercritical foam rather than using PBA in their race day shoe. So it just doesn't compete with the rest of the shoes. It's heavy, it's clunky, it doesn't feel great underfoot. And, we had heard when we went to Boston last spring, people think that, I know that sometimes our feedback doesn't have any effect on the companies or that because they're already working on next generation
I was going to say, they're
shoes.
like 2 years of shoes ahead.
Yeah. So a lot of times it doesn't. But somebody that the rep didn't know the person knew us, and the rep told the person that he was talking to in the shoe store that Believe in the Run killed the sales of the Hyperion Elite, which I don't know if that's...
We can't confirm if that's true
Yeah,
or
we
not.
we can't...
But I'm sure it didn't help.
Yeah. So, it's interesting that when we went and talked with them at the running event, they basically said, hey, they heard our review, they listened to it, and they may have already been working to get PB in the shoes. But the difference between that and what we're looking at here is an inline change. So this isn't a new shoe. It's the exact same tooling, exact same, molds for the midsole, same upper, everything. The only thing they changed was the ingredient was they put the PBA midsole on the shoe. So that's an inline change. It's not like a new development. So to me, this could possibly be basically not maybe just our feedback, but other people's feedback that they needed to get in line with having a super foam for their super shoe. And they have it here.
Are there 2 foams there?
No, it's the same
Okay.
foam. It's just the split where the plate is. But the point I'm making here is this isn't a new developed shoe. This is their current shoe, just with a new ingredient, an inline change.
I mean, it's still called the Hyperion
Elite 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this could potentially be reflective of people's complaints about the shoe. And I have to say, after running in it, I did 10 miles in it, and I was like, welcome to the show. Like, welcome to this.
Oh, yeah.
This feels just like it's comparable to, like, I'd say Vaporfly. It's comparable to the Megan said she thought it felt like the Nitro Elite.
Yeah,
Puma.
I was trying to think on the run of what it felt most similar to in terms of race day shoes, and I think the Puma Elite shoe is what it felt like to me.
But a better upper.
Yeah. I was just thinking more of the underfoot feel.
I haven't run. I got it on Friday, I think, or Saturday, but I haven't had a chance to run it yet.
I think you'll love it.
I put it on. I was like, oh, this for sure feels way different.
What's also interesting is the marketing on the box that they gave us is compared to the Hyperion Elite 4. Mm-hmm. They feel like this will take 2 minutes and 35 seconds or something.
32 or something like that. Yeah.
Proven to take that off your marathon time.
I'm guessing they're basing that strictly off of one person's performance.
Yeah, I would do my best to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Which is
Maybe
be that hard.
but that to me is like they know it. Their athletes have been running in this shoe. So Des, when she ran trials, CJ Albertson ran the trials with this foam. And, when you saw Josh Kerr on the Fifth Avenue Mile, he was wearing this shoe with the PB Gold.
CJ Albertson ran like 10 marathons this year. Do you think they were all in that? Or do you think they took his time from the original race he did?
I know he ran trials in this, and they said, he was leading up until mile 20.
So that was February. So
yeah, so I'm guessing that this is what he's been using. It's a really good shoe. I have to say that, congratulations to Brooks to putting together a good shoe with the right ingredients and to make it a competitor in the market. And I'm excited. Like the Hyperion Elite 5, I love the design. If it feels like this, I think it'll be great. It does not have as much pop as some of the other ones that are on our list. And, I actually think of Adidas and their foams it's not a PBA foam that's in the Pro 4. So some of I think it's the Supercritical TPEE.
Okay.
Some of those, I'm not sure that that's exactly what it is.
That's what's in the Endorphin Elite too from Saucony.
Those seem to be
the next step.
Yeah, of foams and stuff like that, or at least competitive with the P-backs.
Okay. Do we have spec sheets for this? I don't know.
I think.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be the exact same as the spec sheet for the Hyperion 4.
Right.
I liked the Brooks shoe. I think what I'm realizing about myself is I prefer a bit of a more mechanical feeling shoe, like where I can feel the plate and feel like I'm getting a lot from the shoe, not just maybe from the foam, but like everything working together.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like that's one of the reasons I used to like the Newton shoes was that you got that perception of kind of like that lift levery, kind of.
I think that's why I liked the original Alpha Fly so much is because there was just like, you had the AirPod, you had the plate, you had the Zoom X, and it was like all,
And when you hit the shoe right, it kind of rewarded you.
Yeah.
So it also helped with form and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I got you.
The other shoe that we tried that has the P-backs in it, Robbie, which is one of your favorites.
Topo.
Which I hadn't tried.
I feel like
Full P-back shoe. It's a Cyclone 3.
Yeah. How did I not get this shoe?
I don't know how you didn't get it.
Maybe it's someone snatched
Because I
it.
got this with the other one. What's the...
Maybe
There's a
Hold on.
Cyclone, and what's the other one?
no, it's definitely, maybe it's at my house. Cyclone 3 and the
The higher stacked one.
Spectre.
Yeah, the Spectre. Both with Piba.
But the Spectre,
P-backs.
I think the Spectre is the old one though. Like not old one, but this past year's model.
So is this meant to be a race day shoe or a training shoe with P-backs?
It's a training shoe with P-backs.
Okay.
So this one definitely let me know that I've gotten used to more cushioning underneath my feet.
Yeah.
It's light. It's fun. As a matter of fact, even though it's got the foot shape, it doesn't look. I think it looks good. I think it's a good looking shoe.
Yeah, and I mean, for Topo,
I was going to say, I think it needs an asterisk.
yeah, I would say
It's a
for
good looking
Topo,
shoe for Topo.
I would
Yes.
say their design has been a limiting factor in their perception of the shoes, and I think they're privy to that. But that one actually, I like the all white. It's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
I did too.
Always nice, but yeah, definitely it feels really light on the feet. The P-backs though, like I think I did 8 miles and then a 4 mile run, so in total 12 miles. It's a little thin for me. And it's funny because somebody was asking on one of our video reviews, they're like, hey, what's a lower than 30 millimeter drop
Or stack.
or 30 millimeter stack shoe that you guys like?
Does that exist?
I think they're
Not for me.
I mean, what's the stack on this?
That's more. That has to be.
Yeah,
it's still more.
Now this one has 8 millimeter drop or 5 millimeter drop or 6 millimeter.
It's 5. All their shoes are pretty much 5.
I can't. They did that. Is that 5?
5.
5 or 4. Yeah.
It says 5 on the side of the shoe.
Yeah, 5 millimeter drop.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know why. I was trying to look up some of the specs, but I don't have it right now.
Well, something I did like about this though, it has a nice arch.
It's very lightweight. What does that weigh on the scale? Can you put that on there?
Yeah.
That's what I love about the Cyclone. Because, it's not going to be the most forgiving shoe as far as cushion, but there you go.
Yeah, 7.5 ounces
For 10 and a half.
10.5.
That's like a race day light, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, like race, like
Yeah.
lower end of race day.
214 grams.
Yeah. So you're talking that's a pretty straightforward tempo shoe.
Yeah,
I think is kind of the goal.
and it did feel like that. Like I felt light on my feet. The
Yeah.
only thing that was kind of weird though is I did feel like the shoe pushed me to pronate a little bit. Like it wanted to collapse inwards
Okay.
for me.
All right.
That sounds like a you problem.
Could be. I got
But-
99 problems.
Yeah. And
Pronation.
Megan is one or not one. Be careful with your words.
She's up there. Yeah.
Number 1.
By the way, if you haven't listened to Thomas's podcast on Monday, I'm assuming if you're listening to The Drop, you've listened to Thomas's origin stories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone's loving it.
I don't know about that.
They love
What? Of
Robbie's
course everybody's loving
story. They loved your story.
Yeah, they're going to love Megan.
Megan's.
gonna be like, what
this
is
one
this
was a
one?
little nerve wracking. So we did end up. There was a part where it kind of got edited. You can kind of see where a spot got edited, but we actually had to stop for a little bit during
Yeah.
the podcast and start over. And I was a little nervous about it, so I went and I kind of like listened back to it, and I think it flows fine.
Yeah.
With it, but it was a tough moment.
Yeah. I mean, but
I think everyone appreciates that though, that you're willing to share all that, and
absolutely.
it gives people more insight as to who you are.
Yeah, man, that's what we need today. More
Yeah.
people being real.
Yeah, I have a feeling someone's going to use it against me though.
No,
Yeah. I don't
not
need
our audience. We've got a bunch of good people.
Yeah. Even the YouTube trolls, I think, would be
I know.
too low for them.
I don't know. Carl was typing away on it.
I mean,
He was like, yeah.
I do want to thank everyone, though, for listening to this podcast. It still amazes me that you all are still listening to the nonsense that we talk about every week. But you're all the reason that we get to do what we do. So we're very grateful for all of you.
Yeah, I think that, this is one other avenue that we do that helps us continue to bring, content to you and do it in a way that we talked about a little bit about the fact that, we're able to provide free content because you guys are good about our sponsors or participating in things that we do. So, we couldn't do this without you. We appreciate you. And we want to say have a happy New Year, because we will not.
Yeah, just a reminder, we will not have a Friday episode next week, which normally come out January 3rd.
You know what we didn't even talk about? Grit.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, because that'll be starting by the time this we come back. Yeah,
it'll be starting, and hopefully you saw the printing of the sweatshirts. They look sweet, and I went down and made sure that the stitching that's going on the front for the Believe Run logo on this front chest, is kind of matches the hat that the beanie that's going out. So it should all work together quite nicely.
And I don't know. Do we have a? Everyone always asks what the timeline is. It's honestly, we can't.
The timeline for shipping it out?
Yeah.
Did you see that pile? That was not all of them. That
I didn't.
If you watch the reel, there's, after they print them, they stacked them up. And that pile was like 4 pallets at about like.
Well, because they're hoodies. It's not like they're singlets.
They're
crew necks, but it's not like they're singlets.
Yeah,
so,
but it was like 4 pallets, and they were like 4 feet high. And I was like,
Scrooge McDucking into those.
Yeah, we're going to have to, Helen and crew is going to be working hard to get them.
Carl's like, don't look at me, I'm out.
But
yeah, so it's all our small little team that makes all this happen and get them shipped out. So we're always very grateful for your patience. As soon as we get them, we'll start shipping them, but it's kind of out of our hands.
And as a matter of fact, this is probably the earliest that we're going to get the stuff done. So
pretty much.
During the event, you should be getting your stuff.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
So people love that.
They were saying that they weren't going to get the left chest embroidery done until the new year.
Oh, wow.
And then I got an email that they might be starting on it today.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Now it takes a lot longer because they only have a certain number of embroidery machines.
Yeah.
So
the elves are working overtime.
Yeah. This is probably one of the best pieces of swag that we've ever done.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. I love the print was nice. It's not too high on, like when you feel it, it feels soft on the thing. It's not like a chunky print.
Yeah.
It looks good.
All right. Well, cool.
Happy holidays to everyone.
Drink that element before your New Year's Eve party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe
it'll make you feel better the next day.
Maybe you're running grit miles right now.
Yeah. Preparing.
Or depending on if you're a late listener, a late bloomer, maybe you'll be listening to this in the new year.
Never nude in the new year.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Hi, Ma.